Have you ever seen those memes online about how computer science majors right now are homeless? Maybe you have that friend in comp sci who's struggling to find that internship. Why is that? Well, the answer to that question can help us understand job markets in general, as well as helping you choose your future job. This is especially relevant to college students as we're all trying to find what job works for us, and maybe one that's struggling right now wouldn't be the right one for us. So understanding how that works can help us understand which job is perfect for us. So, today I will be discussing how the trend of overhiring tech jobs during the pandemic led to tech jobs declining today internationally, making it much harder to find a job in the space. So first, I will discuss the trend of overhiring in the tech job market during the pandemic. Then I will discuss how this overhiring directly caused the tech job market to deteriorate, leading to layoffs. Let's begin by examining the tech job sector before it slumped. There was a worldwide trend in overhiring tech jobs during the pandemic era. But first, let's explain what a tech job actually is. So first of all, according to DeVry University in 2023, a tech job is simply any job under the tech market tree. So if you work for Meta, for example, and you have a computer job, it's almost certainly classified as a tech job. It's that simple. Overhiring, as according to the HR Encyclopedia by Eddy in 2025, overhiring is simply hiring too many employees to the point at which firing them would actually be more profitable. So let's explain how tech job hiring rose from 2020 to 2022 during the pandemic. According to CNN in 2023, both Meta and Google, which are massive tech companies, both hired around 40,000 employees during this short 2-year period, which is pretty incredible. Amazon hired 750,000 employees. This is incredible. Makes sense considering we were all using Amazon during that time, cooped up inside, using Instagram, whatever. It makes sense. So companies overhired during the pandemic because of a certain technological optimism during the time. This is shown by, according to The Times in 2024, which is a British newspaper, Meta, which owns Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook, all three of those companies had seen the most popularity they had ever seen in their entire history during the pandemic. So of course they would follow suit by hiring more employees. In the UK alone, according to The Times, they increased their employees from 2,700 to over 7,000, following suit of this newfound popularity. Imagine you're a fisherman, you go to the river and see that's overflowing with fish. You would think to buy a little bit more bait, and that's exactly what these companies did. So no matter what made them overhire, the effects of it were still felt by thousands of people. The overhiring of tech jobs led to a massive recent decline in the number of tech jobs and the ability to land a tech job after 2022 internationally. So there were mass firings after the pandemic. According to CNN in 2023, Microsoft laid off 10,000 people at once. Meta laid off 60,000 people over a certain amount of time. And Google laid off a smaller 6% of their entire workforce, which may sound small, but imagine if the entire workforce of the United States laid off 6% people. This would be a devastating amount of unemployment and would be a massive recession to the economy. This is exactly what's happening in the tech workforce right now. So let's examine this graph created by Statista in 2025, which is a statistics company, which shows that there were mass firings occurring after the pandemic. As you can see here, during the pandemic, they were extremely low on average. And then on average afterwards, about 50,000 people were fired every quarter. This shows that there were an extreme amount of firings after the pandemic. It spiked during 2023 at 160,000, which is an amazing amount of people being fired in the tech sector, which is what the y-axis is, how many people were fired in the tech sector internationally. This shows how there was a trend of firing after the pandemic and shows a sort of correlation between us leaving the digital world a bit and mass firings afterwards. So it's good to note that these firings were definitely caused by overhiring. And there are always confounders. It could have been AI, and there's probably 100 different reasons why this happened. But what really made it occur is the overhiring. If you don't believe me, listen to Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff and Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Meta. According to CNN in 2023, they said that it was overhiring and it was their fault of overhiring during this time, which they thought was a good idea, which caused the eventual firings of everyone in the tech sector. Of course, this is not on purpose, but it makes sense that if you overhire, you're going to have to fire at some point. So, in conclusion, today I explained how the pandemic era technological optimism caused a downward shift in the tech job market. First, I discussed the trend of overhiring during the pandemic. Then I explained how this trend created mass layoffs and unemployment for people doing computer science. So I'll leave you with this. Stability is much better than volatility. If you want a job and it looks perfect, think again, is this job going to exist in 50 years? If you don't know the answer to that question, you might want to choose something else, because stability might just be the best choice in a job you ever make. Thank you.